Hello, it's Chris Hamilton here with Sales Tip a Day, www.salestipaday.com. And today we are going to go through multiplying your marketing effort. This is how to get 12 times the results from your marketing by following a few processes that you have to do, and it's pretty simple to do. This is also being presented by my company, EnterMyInvoice.com. And go check out EnterMyInvoice.com. We're an accounts payable and accounts receivable software platform. And I'll tell you what, I put the fire hose on here because most people find that when I give a presentation, it's like drinking from a fire hose. You can get a pad of paper, write some stuff down, but also this video will be available for you to watch at any time wherever you found it as well. So there you go. Stick to the very end. I got a special offer. I got an offer for bookkeepers and accountants. I got an offer for people that are in sales and marketing. A couple of different offers there if you wait till the very end of this video. So here's what you're going to learn today. You're going to learn how to tie one starting piece of content into 12 different marketing channels. You're going to see how you can attract prospects that you would have never had before. And you're also going to learn how to get prospects to contact you. So there's a whole bunch of steps. Step one here is creating a presentation. So obviously I've taken the first slide from this to show you, hey, it's all about creating a presentation. And tips for creating a presentation include just kind of make it educational in nature. If you have sections, see if you can break it down into sections if you want, and that'll become more abundantly clear in a little bit here. And also, you're going to get, try to make it anywhere from 5 minutes to 1 hour as well. And one of the things that's going to happen is I'm breaking out each of these steps and doing Facebook Live events each week on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/entermyinvoice. So if you're watching this, you can always go over there, take a look at some of the content that's up there and see if you can find some of the other steps that are in there. Also like the page when you're there because of the fact that you will find out about more events coming on a regular basis as well. There you go. Second thing you got to do once you've built your presentation is record your presentation. And how you want to record your presentation is if you're using Windows, you can use Camtasia, a program called Camtasia, or you can even use QuickTime. If you're on a Mac, you can use QuickTime or a program called Snagit. There's also other programs that you can get. So if you just Google screen cap or screen recording software, you'll be able to find that stuff. Another way you can record your presentation is a lot of webinar softwares allow you to record your presentation if you give it as well. I know we use Join Me. You can use Zoom.us. And all the other major players have the ability to record your presentation when you give it as well. So once you record your presentation, that creates a video file for you. So that's a piece of content that you can use in multiple places on the web. So here's some tips for recording your presentation. Make sure you talk slowly. If you have sections, pause in between, because what happens is you can break these sections up into different marketing pieces as well. And like I said before, if you don't know how to do a screen capture, just Google how to screen capture, and there's tons of YouTube videos and lots of ways to do that sort of stuff online. So that's kind of step two. Step three is now you've created that video of your presentation where you're going to put it. So upload it to YouTube. So my take would be that you follow these processes. So this one process here is go to YouTube, set up an account. If you don't have an account, just set one up and you can walk yourself through that process. There's a little up button on YouTube when you're there, if you have your account and it's open, and you click on that. And what it does is it brings up a page for you to upload your video. So first thing you got to do is you got to pick whether it's going to be public for everyone, whether it's unlisted. So the only way people can get unlisted videos is if you actually send them the link. Private, they have to have a password to get at it. And scheduled is if you're trying to schedule stuff out in the future. So let's say, for example, you have this piece of content or a presentation that you've done with a bunch of different sections and you break it down, you might want to roll it out over a few different days. So that's where you can schedule stuff as well. So once you figure that one out, then you click that little up arrow and your video will start being uploaded. Now, when it gets uploaded, you're going to have to put some information in. So the first thing is the title. So my take on the title is make sure you put specific keywords in there that you want to get found on. This is for a house that I'm selling in Scottsdale, one of my homes. And so Scottsdale, home for sale. I could put house for sale, whatever it is, which will catch people. Then what you want to do is put information in the description. So there you go. There's just some little information that's in the description. Then there's keywords. This is how you get found. So think about how people would find you as well. Once again, you can make it public, unlisted, private, or schedule it out in the future. If you've got your Google Plus and Twitter account hooked up, you can also tweet and push things out to Google Plus with a little bit of a message. And the last but not least, there's a playlist. So let's say, for example, you take your presentation, you break it up in a whole bunch of different videos. You can create a playlist around that with all those different videos in it. And that way, basically, if people find it, they can watch it from start to finish as well, instead of looking at videos one by one. So there you go. One other thing you got to take a look at is at the very top of your video when you upload it, there's thumbnails. And sometimes the thumbnails don't look that great. This is an example where I didn't like the thumbnails. It showed my family room, my kitchen, and a picture of my realtor, James. So what I did was I went into canva.com and created just a picture with a little bit of a title underneath of it, so you can see here, there's where it is, and uploaded that thumbnail. So that's that. The other thing too is I'm just getting into a little bit of advanced stuff here that's kind of cool about YouTube is you can do live streaming with YouTube. So when you can click in the upper right hand corner, and then there's something that'll say Creator Studio. Click on that, and you can click on the live events and create a live event or schedule a live event for the future. What I do is, so what you see is, once again, in the upper right-hand corner, little round circle, you click on there, it's Creator Studio. On the left-hand side, you see live streaming. I don't stream now, not that advanced, but I do set up events. So what happens is you can set an event for some time in the future. Same thing, just put in a title, put a description, put some tags in, and then what you do is you pick when you want to go live. You can go live now when you're on there, or you can go in the future. The other thing too is down where it says type, down in the lower right hand side, I always select Google Hangouts because they're easy to do and easy to use as well. So that's kind of, I'm not going to get into the details. I will in the future, because I'm going to be breaking these steps out and doing live events, Facebook live events on these, and showing people how to do more of this sort of stuff as well. When you're streaming, then what happens is a Google Hangout shows up here, and you can start your broadcast, you can screen share, you can do a whole bunch of different things. Really straightforward. This is advanced, but we'll get into it at another time. So the other thing that's really cool about this is when you actually use a Google Hangout or you're doing a live stream like this, you can record a video. Same thing, Facebook Live. You can do some live events and then have the ability to actually download the video after the fact as well. So once again, that's pretty advanced, but we'll get into that in a later date. So uploading your YouTube video, make sure you include your contact information. This is a way for people to get a hold of you. Put a call to action in there. I don't have anything like that, like contact me for a free consultation, contact us for blah, 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 whatever it is. Put your address in there, but use an HTTP or an HTTPS, and then your website. Use that, and then it's hyperlinked through. It'll go to your website. Put a description in, and make sure you use keywords, not only in the title, but also actually in the description as well. The other thing too is once you've got your audio file, make sure that you rip the audio. So what I mean is download the audio from the audio file, because you're going to use this in a podcast and other places as well. Here's how you do it. This is one way that I found to do it. You can get programs online that'll do this for you, but this is a freebie. So if you go to downvid.net/download-youtube-videos, there is the ability to download your YouTube video. If you create it. So for example, if you've created a Google Hangout like I just showed you, you could take that video URL, put it in here, you could download it, and that's a piece of content for you. Then on top of it, you can download the MP3 file out of this as well. So that's a great way to do that sort of stuff. Now, you've got your video, you've got it up on YouTube, you rip the audio. One thing you might want to do is transcribe or get a transcription from that video. So that's content for you as well. A service I've used in the past is rev.com. One of the things that you do with Rev is you simply take the URL and then pump it in, and then what happens is you will upload that, and Rev has actual people doing transcriptions. They're not doing it straight from the audio. So what you do, go in, click, get started, put the URL in, and literally it says 12-hour turnaround time. I've had stuff in like 10, 15 minutes come back to me as well. So it's a great way. So this is the reason we want the transcription. You'll see here, like in this video here, when I start talking about SlideShare and other places to post. So you've created your presentation, you've recorded the video, you've ripped the audio, you've uploaded it to YouTube. You can upload it to other video sharing sites as well. You've got the transcription. Now take your presentation and share it on something called SlideShare.net. Now this is owned by LinkedIn. And what you're going to see, it's pretty cool. If you look along the top there, this is where you start seeing this multiplier effect coming into play. So I put a video, or I put my presentation up, and one of the ones that I've got here is learn how to get 88% of people to trust your LinkedIn profile, I think is the way it was. That one had almost 600 views of it. But these other ones, 163 views, 234 views. So let's say I have a different means. So my YouTube video gets seen maybe 500 times. My SlideShare video or my SlideShare presentation gets seen 500 times. I've doubled my efforts just off one piece of marketing content. So this is that multiplier effect that I'm talking about. The other thing, so here's how you upload it. So when you're in SlideShare, if you're not, if you don't have an account, you can connect through your LinkedIn account, or just set up an account. Go to the upload in the right-hand corner, put your title in, description. So this is where you add your transcription and your contact details. So take that information that you ripped from the audio, put it in here. You only got about 5,000 characters, so it'll only get a certain amount in there, but it's a great way to get found because you're creating content around it. Make sure you put the tags in as well, and then you go from there. The other thing that's really cool about SlideShare is that you can put your YouTube video in. So what I often do is I will, when I put something in, what I will do is after the first slide, I will put my YouTube video in so that someone, when they're advancing through, they see a YouTube video, they can click play, and then that way they can watch it. Or what you can do, put it at different spots in the slide or put it at the very end as well. So this is a great way to get some content out, get people seeing your video, get people seeing a way to connect with you as well. Okay, so now you've got your video, you've got your transcription, you got your audio, you got a whole bunch of different things. I always tell people create a blog post with this information. So once again, I'm getting 500 views on my YouTube video. I'm getting 500 views on my SlideShare. I create a blog post. Maybe I get 500 views there. So now I'm tripling my marketing efforts with this sort of stuff as well. So how do you create a blog post? So this is a WordPress site that I have. And you just go in, I'm not going to go into the details, but in the back end here, and literally you just put information in here. And it's pretty straightforward. It's not that tough to do. You can add media. You can do a whole bunch of different things. But when you're writing a blog post, just make sure it's got a catchy title. How-tos usually do very well. Make sure it's 300 to 400 words or more. Put keywords in there where you want to get found. So, for example, if you're a Calgary accountant solving CRA problems, just put your Calgary accountant solving CRA problems, for example, and put your transcription in there. I'm going to show you. You can add a video. It's really easy to do into posts. So here's what I'm doing is I'm creating a post and I've added a video. What you do, go to the YouTube page with the video on it. There's a thing that says share. When you click on that, it's going to bring up a little box, and then there's a little embed code. Click embed. And from there, what you do is it brings up this little frame here with some information, and then you click copy. And what happens is you'll be able to copy that. And then what you do is you go into the text version of your post and just post it in. Just kind of highlight it, put it in there. Go back into visual and you can start writing like you would normally would. We'll get into this at a later time as well, just so you can understand it in one of the Facebook Live events coming up as well. Adding a presentation, you do the exact same thing with SlideShare. So you can put your video in, you can put your audio in, you can put a presentation in. Here's how you put a presentation in. Go click on your picture in the upper right-hand corner, click Uploads, and then what you do is you click on one of your presentations that you want to add. Then what you do is down at the bottom it says share, click on that, and it brings up a couple of different areas where you can grab the code and put it into your presentation as well. Here's just on a blog, and as it comes to blog posts, it's a lot of people get freaked out trying to do this stuff, and it's really not that tough to do. I always tell people, just start writing something, start putting out. You know what? People aren't going to see your content at first. Don't be freaked out by that. It takes forever sometimes for your content to get found, but people will find it. And what happens is, the information that you're creating in this presentation, creating videos, creating presentations, creating all this stuff is an asset that you can use in multiple places. So people will find you. You got to think about how frequently you're going to be posting, and then think about the topics that you're going to be posting on. And then make sure you use your transcriptions when you're writing a post. Now, step number 8, I'm going to get into podcasts. And so I created a podcast like literally about 7 years ago, 2011, 2010, 2011, something like that. And it's crazy how much traffic my podcasts get. So I use a service called Podbean. Sign up for the account, not overly expensive, it's about $9 a month or something like that. What you do is you click on publish podcast. It's very similar. What you do is you choose to upload a file. So what happens is you can upload your video file, or you can upload your MP3 file, depending on what kind of account you have. And once you do that, then what happens is a page comes up, and you put in your title. You can put in a little picture if you want. You put in information down below in the description area where you can put your transcription. And then you can create some categories on different things. So mine are like how to, LinkedIn, marketing, and business. And then it gives you the option to publish your post. But one of the other things that I do in mine, at the very end, I include a call to action, so people can click on this and they can get signed up on my email list. Or if they type social into 44222 in the US, or social into 1-855-969-5300 in Canada, they can register for a monthly webinar that I have that shows people how to succeed using LinkedIn for social selling. So just once again, another way. So food for thought. If you think about this, you could put a link in that would tell people, hey, you want to learn top 10 tips of how to avoid a CRA audit. Hey, you want to learn top 10 tips of whatever it is. Those are the sort of things that you can include in this. So in this case, this podcast, it was a video podcast, almost got 400 downloads of it. So once again, you're starting to see 500 here, 500 here, 400 there, 300 here, 700 here. That's how you start multiplying your marketing efforts. Now, the other thing too, with these presentations, you've ripped it, you've got the transcription. What you could do is create an ebook. So what you do is you go and use a Word document and just take the transcriptions and post them or put them into a Word document with a link for the video or your blog post as well. And then what I do is I create an ebook, and I have a pop-up that with a service on my WordPress site called Pippity. Another one you can use, Thrive Leads. You can use, lead boxes from Lead Pages. There's a whole bunch of different ones with these little pop-ups that you can do. And people sign up on this just to get this little course here and stuff like this that I have. So it's a great way to capture people's names and emails. So this is yet another means of marketing. I'll get anywhere from 3 to 10 people getting on my email marketing list on a daily basis. So, think about that within a year. If you get 10 people a year, you're getting over 3,650 people joining your email list every year. And if you put content out to them on a regular basis, that's how you get clients as well. So another thing you can do is take this content and create a book. And my buddy Mike Skripnik has the ideal book. He's actually written 3. He's got a process he uses with his book to get himself in front of targeted people. And what I'll do is I'll probably bring him on one of the podcasts so that he can work with you or tell you how he kind of does things as well, and go through his whole process. But anyways, you could take segments from the presentations, from the blog posts, from everything that you're doing, and create a book on it and push it up on Kindle, self-direct publishing, create these books. It's the ultimate business card for handing out to people. Another thing you can do is, now you got these audios, you can create an audio book wrapped around this stuff as well. And I did this with one called Learn How to Stop Cold Calling. I used a service called Catapult Distribution. Now, a Catapult, unfortunately, no longer use audiobooks, but one you can look at is acx.com. It's owned by Amazon. But it's a great way to get your book up on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes. Just for show, when I use Catapult, I ended up on Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play, which got my book out and got people to look at it. So once again, another means for you to get found as well. So this is kind of the last one, and then I got one further step in this that is just a no-brainer that should be included with everything. Create a course. So what I've done is if you go to bookkeepingautomation.com, go to our vlog, kind of down the right-hand side, search on sales and marketing. If you search back far enough, you're going to start finding, I started posting weekly posts on how to help bookkeepers and accountants with their marketing or trying to drive sales for their business. And what I did was then I went to teachable.com and I created the Bookkeeping Accountant Marketing Tips and Tricks course, which literally is a collection of these videos that I've put in. And this is free to use. It is free as of February 2018. They do have a paid-for version, which has more bells and whistles, but the free one works just fine. This is really cool. Think of yourself as an accountant or a bookkeeper. You can create courses in here to see if people are interested. And then what you can do is you can send it out to your current client base. You can send it to prospects. So think about this, is top 10 tips to reduce your taxes this season, right? Create a course around that. Tip 1, tip 2, tip 3, all the way through tip 10. And you can create this and create little videos around it and create a course around this sort of thing. It's a great way to drive business for yourself. Last but not least, I look at step number 13, which this is a no-brainer. Every step along the way, you need to be collecting people's names and emails. Everywhere where you're posting your content, make sure you have your contact information in there. If you can, put something in that's going to allow people to give you a name and email. If not, push them back through to a landing page on your website or a page on your website where they can contact you. Here's an example of what I do with bookkeeping automation. So I use Thrive Themes or Thrive Leads, which is a great little program. I create a pop-up for people, so when they're exiting or if they haven't been on the site in 30 days, it pops up after 10 seconds and people sign up. This one right here, this gets me about 8 to 9% of the people that hit my website give me their name and email on this one as well. This one's in the footer of my blog, so it doesn't get seen as much. There's about a 1 to 2% sign up. So for every 1,000 people or for every 100 people, I'm getting 6 or 7 here. I'm getting 1 or 2 here. These are people, and then what I do is I put them into an email marketing thread, which I post up weekly posts for them, or weekly links in emails that pushes them back through to my website to go look at my content as well, which then further it enhances what I'm doing. Now, by the way, here's the emails that I'm sending out through our system as well. So I will go into this in a bit greater detail in one of the future events that we do. Some of the systems I like to use, I use Aweber, I use MailChimp, and I use ActiveCampaign. Aweber and MailChimp are super simple. MailChimp would be the one I would highly recommend. You can get up to 2,000 contacts on it for free. ActiveCampaign gets into more what they call marketing automation, which is kind of cool. I'll get into that as well in a further thing. But one of the things that I do with ActiveCampaign is that if people are on my email list, I can actually track where they're going on my website, and I can create triggers that do specific things. So for example, when someone goes and looks at my pricing page more than 3 times, I know they're trying to be engaged on pricing and trying to figure out what we do and how we can do it. So I can have a follow-up with that person. I can pick up the phone and call them. I wouldn't simply say, hey, I see you're poking around our pricing page, but I say, hey, haven't talked to you in a while. I just wanted to touch base, see if there's anything that I can help you with. We got lots of great clients using the system right now. They find that they're getting a huge ROI when it comes to looking at the the cost outlay compared to what they're doing? Do you want me to explain that to you? That's how you go through that sort of stuff as well. So let's go 13 steps. Here it is again, really quick. Start with a presentation, record your presentation, rip the audio, transcribe the recording, add it to SlideShare, write a blog post. If you can, put a podcast up, write an ebook that you use as kind of a lead magnet, create a book, and a book is great because it's a tangible asset, obviously. Create an audiobook, create a course, and then throw in the email marketing. Here's the different channels that you can use. So once again, YouTube, webinar services like Join Me, Zoom.us, go to webinar. You can use YouTube Live. You can use a Facebook Live, SlideShare. Use WordPress. I like WordPress over stuff like Wix or something like that. For creating blog posts. Podcasts, you can use like Podbean or Libsyn. Ebooks are really simple to create. It's just create a PDF type thing. Books, there is easy ways to create books. It seems like a daunting task, but it really isn't. But you can create your books through Kindle Direct Publishing. And like I say, I'll have Mike Skripnik on so he can walk through this process with people. The audiobook's really easy to create as well. You can use ACX. Creating a course, you use Teachable. And last but not least is the email marketing. You use something like Aweber, MailChimp, or ActiveCampaign. There's lots of other ones out there, but those are the three favorites that I like. So those are the different channels that you can use. So it's the main benefit to doing marketing this way is that you're getting massive multiplier effects. So once again, like I say, I got my YouTube video with 500 views. I got my podcast with 600 here. I've got my blog post getting me 200 views or 300 views. I've got SlideShare giving me 600 views. So what happens is I've taken that one piece of content and I'm multiplying it and getting it in front of a whole bunch of different eyeballs as well. Here's some tips really quick, right? You don't have to do this all at once. Do one and get comfortable with it. So here's what my recommendation would be is create a presentation and start posting on YouTube. Once you're comfortable doing something like that, then start looking at layering and doing a blog post. Once you're comfortable with something like that, start looking at layering in a podcast. Then start looking at layering in SlideShare or whatever it is, right? Just do it kind of step by step and just feel comfortable with it. And it's that easy. It really is. So you want more tips and tricks? Hey, look, if you're a bookkeeper or an accountant, go to the vlog, and I'm posting stuff on a regular basis there all the time. Just really there designed to help you do a whole bunch of different things to succeed and bring on more clients. By the way, when you're there, you're going to see the pop-up. Sign up, and then you'll also get reminders. You get weekly emails. You'll get content that other people won't see as well. If you want to get onto this bookkeeping and accountant marketing tips and tricks, go to bit.ly/BA_tips. B and A has to be capitalized. T has to be capitalized. This one, I'm taking all the content that I'm putting up on the blog and I'm throwing it up here on a regular, consistent basis. The other thing too, though, is I'm taking and putting other marketing material in here. So this thing right now probably has like 20, 25 hours of courses sitting on it as well, with a lot of content you can't find elsewhere. So it's free. I'll tell you what, free, go for it. Here's something you can do right now. Is I've got a 14-part LinkedIn little known tips and tricks course and 28 most asked questions course that I've created. You can get instant access if you want. You could go to bit.ly/28 and 14. Or if you're in the US, text LinkedIn 14 to 44222. Or if you're in Canada, text LinkedIn 14 to 1-855-969-5300. This thing it's a $199 of value that I'm giving away for free. So highly recommend if you want, try to do that stuff. So there's a couple of give me's for people. Special offer if you are a bookkeeper or accountant. We're getting set to launch again on our second version of our platform for accounts payable. It's going to work strictly right now as of February 2018. It works with QuickBooks Desktop with bank and credit card statements. We'll start layering in invoices and receipts over the next couple of months. Then we're going to start branching out to other platforms such as QuickBooks Online, Sage 50, the Sage product suite, the Microsoft product suite, and stuff like that. So that stuff will be coming in the near future as well. If you want to get it, just go to entermyinvoice.com. On the main page, you're going to see sign up. It may say we're not taking clients for a while, but you can get on the waiting list on that one as well. Next webinars. So so they're going to be on Facebook, on our Facebook page. So facebook.com/entermyinvoice. Every Friday at 8:30. I'm going to try to stick to a schedule. I'm going to be breaking out the 12 steps as actually the 13 steps on a weekly basis and showing you how to do this. And there you go. Tell you what, if you want more, if you're watching this on the LinkedIn page for Enter My Invoice, make sure you like our page and you'll be notified of other webinars coming up as well. And we're going to skip the Q&A because this was a presentation that I did, and unfortunately it got messed up the first time I did it, so we'll skip by. If you want to contact me, you can reach me, chris.hamilton@entermyinvoice.com or chris@salestipaday.com, or feel free to give me a call, 403-630-1243. And that is it, I believe. Yep, that is it. Hopefully you found this information useful, and thank you very much for devoting time to learning about this, and keep in contact. We've got more coming down the pipeline.